This video shows how to make a playable fish pond. You can make any type of fish you want and they can swim and sprint. They are limited to be within the water volume. It is also easy to set up. Here is the fish swimming. You can hold shift to sprint. There is also camera lag, although you can disable this if you need. When near the surface, the fish will snap to the surface and they will remain surface swimming until the camera looks down enough. The fish has procedural leaning, so they lean towards the movement direction. There is also sound and particle effects, which is the same as the one from the previous video for AI. Predator fish such as the shark can attack. When near targets, left clicking will let you bite and it will go towards. When attacking smaller fish, they will magnetize towards you, so you always eat. They will also regenerate your health and hunger. Here is the shark attacking a seal. This is medium sized, so aren't eaten whole like the days. The attacking isn't entirely accurate in terms of movement, so this is a disclaimer. Here is a koi. This is not a predator fish, so all it can do is swim around. Predators can also attack the player. Here is an anglerfish attacking. You can see there is also blood particles as shown in previous videos. Here is a large fish, which is a megalodon. They can eat fish too, and dolphins, which are medium but much smaller to megalodons, will be devoured whole. The fish also has foam effects, as you can see here. Fish pond can still be attacked by the AI ones. Here is a koi being devoured by a shark. Here is a koi being attacked by an anglerfish. If you purchase the project files, you will get extra exclusive, starting with the devour system as shown in the previous videos. If enabled, medium and large fish can eat the player whole with animations and effects as shown. This crocodile example pond is also included. Next is an advanced stamina system. When sprinting, it will go down. If it reaches 0, the fish will stop sprinting and can only sprint again if gone above a certain threshold. Stamina will regenerate passively. This dolphin includes as well. They can jump out of water if at the surface. You can also add sounds to fish, and I used the number keys to activate them. Next is a hunger system. Hunger is passively depleted, but to restore you must eat something. Hunger can be disabled if you don't want it, and the UI won't have that bar. Finally is an oxygen system. Oxygen can be toggled if needed, and it will deplete passively while underwater. If it depletes fully, health will start to go down. Swimming to the surface will make it regenerate and stop suffocation if active. I also added blowhole, shooting water when it breathes. For this tutorial, you need to first follow along the previous fish AI ones. Duplicate the master fish actor. Now open the fish blueprint interface. Open the biteable one as well. Move the get closest point on fish over to the biteable one and remove it from fish. Since it is not the focus of the video, the UI is very basic, but you can add on to it if you want. Now open the master fish actor, since there will be new errors here. Since we changed the BPI event, redo the get closest point one. I deleted it before copying it over, but it is the code we wrote before. You will need to redo the input variable references. I will compile and go through the errors to fix them all. This is just replacing it with the new event. You can hold Ctrl and drag to move a connection over. Here we will use the getAccurateJaw function. For the getAccurateJaw BPI function, just return the corresponding sphere collision. Do the same for dead fish actor. Make sure you do the BPI functions again here. It is exactly the same process, so I did it off camera. Go to the onFishHit function in Master Fish Actor and make the changes show. Then go to the React to Noise event and change it as shown. Finally open getOnAttacked and set the outputs as shown. Do it for the dead fish actor too. Now open the character blueprint. Copy the code for the get closest point on character BPI event. We had to move the function over so that the player can be targeted manually when the fish pawn attacks. Add set near surface back. Go through and fix the compiler errors. I will do it off camera since it is just replacing new references and BPI events. Disconnect on fish hit since we will rewrite it later. We don't need get patrol position, so you can just delete the entire thing. Delete the components as shown on the left. Make the capsule the root. This is why we had to make a separate blueprint for fish ponds, as inconvenient as it is, since for the collision to work the capsule must be the root. Set the fish rotation like this. We will rotate the capsule after. Modify the spring arm settings. I added camera lag, but this is optional. Now add 3 arrow components. Also reduce the deceleration to something like 1500. Open the construction script and make the changes shown. Also make sure the rotations of each arrow is set to 0, 0, 0. I will now add the variables required for the fish pond. I will again speed this part up. Also I categorize the variables that should be changed per child blueprint separately, so you know which variables should be changed and not. We will need the swim buoyancy blueprint, which I showed how to make in the swimming video. I will link just that part if you need. I will now do the functions. First, open on fish hit and modify it as shown. It will work differently for fish ponds than it did for the fish AI. Also change the type of eaten by in the eaten whole BPI to actor. Make a function called convert rotator. This will convert a standard rotator to work with the capsule, since we need it to be horizontal instead of vertical. This honestly isn't the best way to do it, but I couldn't find a better way to do capsules that are rotated, and there were no free plugins for it. This basically just filters detected preys by the closest one. It uses similar techniques I have already covered in the AI videos, so I did not explain the code functionality. Next is begin play. First I will change this to just play sound 2D. Add a sequence. I will copy the input mapping code from the character blueprint here. Then set the view pitch min and max. Make a new collision profile as shown called fish pawn. We set the control rotation here since the camera will be rotated differently by default due to the capsule being rotated in construction script. We need the swim buoyancy to check when the fish is at the surface. The debug code is not needed but is just there for testing purposes. Also, create the fish stats UI if currently possessed. This code basically finds the difference between the arrow rotation so it can be used for procedural leaning. Swap these arrows to XY as it was incorrect. Go to the Deplete Health by Fish event and make the changes shown. I will now copy the look and movement input from the character blueprint over. For the movement input, add the following code. Snap to surface will move the player forward instead of vertically if at surface. If near the surface, this sets the fish to snap to it and uses the buoyancy actor to simulate buoyancy or bobbing. Make a new input called bite. I will use left click for it. Add it to the master fish pond. Only predators should be able to bite. This is for spam prevention. This moves the fish towards the target prey and faces them. Continue copying the code. Now go to fish bubble anim notify. If this cast is failed, then cast to the fish pawn actor instead. I will now do the animation blueprint. Open the master fish one since we can use the same one from the fish AI. Copy the code in the event graph. I will explain these bones in detail later. Now go to Swim BS. Make a new animation for the fish where it is perfectly centered. This is done since when procedural leaning, if the regular animation is playing it will look weird as it continues to sway in both directions. Now go to the anim graph and copy the code. We will transform the bones for the leaning. There is a major disclaimer here, which is that since I used an animation blueprint template, the bones cannot be changed per fish, and also there is only 3 bones that can be transformed here. To work around this, you will either have to make separate animation blueprints for each fish skeleton or make a more advanced setup where you can choose more bones to lean. I will do another example for shark. First I make the centered animation. Then in the anim BP, I can override the animation for it from the right panel. I did the same for all other fishes off camera. We can now set up the blueprint. But first we need to modify the skeletons. Enable the skeletal mesh editing tools plugin, then restart. You can check the documentation on the plugin if you want more detail on it, which I will link in the description. We need to change the bones to say lean bone where required now, since we used the animation blueprint template and the bones can't be changed in child ones. I will showcase it on the koi. The water setup is shown in the Fish AI videos. I will make this the default possessed pond. Set the sea path volume ref variable as well. If the fish leans too much or little, adjust the procedural lean amount variable until it looks right. Here is the final result. You can control fish as characters now. They can swim and sprint too. Sharks are predators and can attack as well, as you can see. If at the surface, the fish will lock and surface swim until you look down. Smaller fish can still be devoured. They will die normally if the attacking fish was small. Here is a megalodon. It has foam VFX which I added from the previous video. That is all for this video. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe for more content. You can purchase this final result from Gumroad using the link in the description if you want. It is a part of the Fish AI project file, so you will get everything from those included extra exclusives.